Hi, welcome to episode 210 of the Corner of Knit and Tea. My name is Laura. I'm also known as Fluffy K on Ravelry, Fluffy Kira on Instagram and Twitter. We have a blog over at thecornerofknitandtea.com, which is where this episode and every episode show notes will be. I have an Etsy group. I have an Etsy shop where I sell my handspun yarns. That is called The Corner of Knit and Tea. And we have a Ravelry group also called The Corner of Knit and Tea. If you haven't come and joined us, please do. So hi, how are you? It is Sunday, December... I don't know. It is the... Let me think about this. Wednesday, 19, 18, 17, 16. It is Sunday, December 16th. It is getting awfully close to Christmas. As you can see, I am not prepared for today. I hope that you have had a wonderful week. We have had a lovely week here. It has been in the 50s, which is, I won't say entirely unusual for us, but we had a very cold November, so having a warm December is a little bit of a surprise, but I managed to get outside and walk a couple times this week, and Wes and I took a long walk yesterday. It's 50 degrees today. It is just beautiful. And today, actually, I'm probably mostly going to stay indoors, but maybe I'll open up the windows a little bit and air out the house. But it has been a good week, lots of work, and fairly crafty. I'll have quite a few things to show you. And this weekend is kind of our calm before the storm. Next weekend, my in-laws will come and we will celebrate Christmas. I will get a podcast out next weekend. I'll probably do it on Saturday before they get here. And then I will do one after Christmas. So I hope that you are having a good week and not too stressed out by the holiday season. I don't think I have any real fun stories to tell you this week. So I guess we'll just jump right into the content. Because it is close to Christmas, I am drinking my favorite Christmas tea. That is the Downton Abbey Christmas tea from Republic of Teas. Not Republican. Republic of Tea's Downton Christmas tea, and it is a black tea with mulling spices. It is one of my favorites. I have several canisters around the house because I love it so much. And today I am drinking it in my Downton Abbey mug. These were the mugs that they made at Cost Plus World Market many years ago when Downton was airing, and I picked mine up on eBay. That's probably where you could find one too if you really wanted one. There are a bunch of different kinds, and this is just one of them. And then, like I said, I have my tea today, and the mug is super hot, so I know I'm gonna burn myself, but this is delicious tea. It is one of my favorites just because I love a spicy black tea. My choice was this, or I have a really nice caramel coffee in the fridge, but I decided to bring tea because it's the Corner of Knit and Tea. So let's talk about the knits this week. I managed to finish the Tally Ho Baby Pullover. This was a kit, and I have one end that I forgot to snip, but it is washed, ends are woven in, everything. This is the Tally Ho Baby Pullover. It is by Appalachian Baby Designs, but I can't remember if there is it doesn't show. It's just by Appalachian Baby Designs. Sometimes they have a specific person who has designed it, but this one's by Appalachian Baby Designs. It comes in a 12-month size. I was sent a kit kind of to make a sample and review. The kit came with 2 balls of their US organic cotton. As you can see, I used almost all of it. One was indigo and one was the blush colorway. And again, it is the Appalachian Baby Design organic cotton. So here's the label. And then it is their organic cotton, which is 194 yards, 177 meters, and it's approximately a sport weight. So this is what I have left over from the balls, but one kit will make you a 12-month size sweater, which is the only size the kit comes in. So, and I finished it this week, and it is super cute. So it is a pink front sweater, and then the indigo back and trim, and then you've got your sleeves here. Oh, I see I have an end sticking out that I'll have to trim up, and then you've got your one sleeve with the stripes and one sleeve without. We had discussed potentially making the side opposite the sleeve with stripes in the blue color, so it would be like a little bit more fun on the front, but there was not enough yarn to do that. I would not have gotten a whole front out of what is left, so I opted to make it just like in the kit. Like I said, it is sized for approximately 1 year. I do not have a specific baby for this. I do have a friend who is pregnant right now, and it may go to her, or I may may just hold on to it for the next time I need a baby gift. But it is 100% organic cotton. It has been, I washed it in the sink and then I ran it through the dryer to snug it up because washing it in the sink, blocking out would cause the cotton to grow. It is super soft and luscious, and it actually is not, it's very nice to work with. It's not terribly hard on your hands. And basically, it was knit at a large gauge. It's knit on size 6s and 7s. And so I did the back one night, the front another night, the other front, and each sleeve. Basically, it was like a 5-night plus some edging baby sweater. The front has kind of an interesting construction as you pull it together. I was a little bit skeptical as I was doing it. But as soon as it washed it and snugged it right up, it was fine. It looked really, really open when I was actually doing it. But it looks really nice now. So it is a cute baby pullover. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, everything you need other than the needles are in the kit. So it is just a really nice gift, and or project, depending on what you are looking for. So that is the Tally Ho baby sweater. I will have a full review of it on the blog this week. But it looks great and it's done. So, now let's turn to my whips. I have been doing really great work. Last week I showed you, my first sweater weather sock. And, I talked a little bit about how it was a little big and whatnot, and I did the afterthought heel. Anyway, so that is the first sock completed from last week. The second sock is basically complete except for the heel. So I finished the foot last night. And Kitchenered the toe, and we're all set there. And then I went ahead and I can show you. I picked out my waist yarn and got my heel ready to go. So it just needs a heel. Hopefully I'll finish this evening. Like I said, I'm just doing an afterthought heel, so I am ready to go. And then I will be done with these socks too. So that is just great. I'm gonna hold off casting on more socks until my Christmas Eve cast on, and I did not bring that with me today, but I will bring that to show you next week. It is a Vesper sock yarn from Knitterly Things, and it is a Christmas colorway, and that will be my Christmas Eve cast on. And I found a pattern that actually works for self-striping yarn, so I'm going to be doing a pattern. I'm very excited. I'll wind that up, and like I said, I'll bring that next week. So, but these should be done this week and ready to go. And I'll have to weigh my ball. I think I have enough left to do socks for Miles. I will have to weigh it after I finish doing the heels. Since I made these a little bit bigger, I definitely don't have enough to do a pair of socks for Roxy, but I'm hoping I can get a pair of socks for Miles out of that. And that is living in my stashing all the way Christmas bag. So my Christmas socks will go in there next. So next on the needles is my handspun shawl. And I meant to weigh the ball before we started today to let you know whether I'm halfway through. It was a ball bigger than my head. It's now crushing because I'm working from the inside out, but I just leave it in there. And if I had to weigh it, I'd say I'm probably close to halfway done. Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea. And I am knitting the Canyonlands shawl by Nim Teasdale, and I am knitting it basically as written in my own handspun. And I have made more progress this week. I am loving this. This is definitely a potato chippy, one more row, one more row, one more row. And so as you can see, it is my handspun. These were 2 bumps of like berries on a bush in Falkland from Hello Yarn. And what I did is I spun it fractally. So I spun one of the bumps straight through in the long color progressions, and then I spun one of the bumps in smaller strips, and then I plied them together. So this is one of those that starts in a corner and just keeps growing, and I am planning to knit until I run out of yarn. It is very deep right now, but certainly not wide enough. So this is going to be an enormous shawl, and I cannot wait. And it's really funny because this week I was talking about how I love these sections up at the top where you get lots and lots of blue and teal sort of, and that I wasn't as, I didn't like as much these sections where you just get a row or two, and actually everyone at Knit Night disagreed with me. They liked the little pops and the little stripes better than the big chunky sections. So just goes to show everybody has different tastes. My assumption is that these were just sections of long repeats, and because it was so much smaller, they just stacked up versus this, which will be a lot more stripy. So, but I am super excited about this. I will just keep plugging away on this. It is an enjoyable knit. The rows are getting fairly long, so I am definitely I'm a ways from finishing this, but that is fine. I'm just enjoying the process, actually. So again, that is Canyonlands by Nim Teasdale in my handspun. It is super, super hard to photograph and show, so I don't know if I'm going to photograph my progress this week, but that is where I'm at with that one. Which means it's time to cast on for something new. I have another review yarn coming up. And so this time I am going to be reviewing yarns from Fairmount Fibers, and they have the Monostil Uruguay collection. And I have reviewed their yarns before. I really, really like their yarns and their color sense. And this time they asked if I would be interested in reviewing their new Cabrito base, which is kid mohair. And I believe it's 100% kid mohair, but let me double check. It is 80% kid mohair and 20% polyamide, and this is the colorway Huarache. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's Huarache, and it is kind of a teal with pops of orange and purple. They come in these tiny skeins. I don't have a price on them, but it's 230 yards for a 25-gram skein, and it is 20 to 26 stitches per 4 inches on a US 3 to 6. So that is the yarn that I am testing, and they generously offered that you could purchase another skein, or that you could request another skein to strand it with, and I decided to request something worsted weight. This is their Gloria. Oh no, this is Allegria Grande. Sorry, I have used this before. It is Merino Superwash and Polyamide 75-25, and this is in the colorway Petal. And so I'm going to strand these together, and you can see that there is like a little bit of pink in that, so I hope that will kind of tie those two together. And I am going to knit kind of a bulky cowl. It is the Pearl Soho bandana. It calls for bulky weight yarn and size 10 needles, and with this fluffy worsted and then held stranded with the kid mohair on 10s, I think this will be really nice. It's a little different than I envisioned, because originally I had asked for a teal yarn, and they ran out of the colorway that I asked for. So this will be a slightly different color than I was planning for. I don't usually do super pale colors, but I thought it would be nice. I was just trying to come up with something that the yarn would pick up, and I wasn't really sure I wanted to do orange, so I decided petal pink would be nice. So those two are going to go together for a bandana cowl. I expect this will not take me more than a week. This one feels super soft, and it doesn't feel itchy against my neck, which is nice. And I'm hoping that this will be a really nice, warm, kind of just cowl right here. And I will put links in the show notes to the project that I plan to do, but I'll show you that next week. So that is what's going to be on my needles this week, in addition to finishing the sock heel and working on my handspun shawl. I have some other review projects coming up, but I will wait and talk to you about those next week. So before I finish out the knitting section, just because it is yarn, I wanted to talk about the fact that we still have the gift along going in the group. I haven't seen as much participation this year, and I'm not sure if you guys are just not gift knitting this year, or if you hadn't seen it. Every year I do a gift along, which is craft anything: knitting, sewing, weaving, spinning. Craft anything for someone who is not you anytime between November 1st and December 31st. Post a picture of it in the thread, and you will be eligible for prizes. So if you are knitting gifts or crafting gifts right now, get extra credit and potentially win a prize in the thread. So far, because there has not been a huge amount of participation, I just pulled one prize out, which I will draw for with a random number generator the first couple days of the new year. And what I pulled out of my stash is a skein of Freya Find hand paints. This is the, I believe it's their sport base, and it is 75 grams, 200 meters, 217 yards. The colorway is Blue Velvet, so it is Freya hand paints. Like I said, it is a ombre skein. You could pair this with something else to make a really cool, like a neutral or maybe like a black, and make a really cool scarf or shawl, or you could turn this into a hat or cowl with 200 yards. So it's Freya hand paints. And then I have this project bag that I ordered ages ago and actually never used. It could be a project bag or it could be a notions bag because it's kind of a flat bag, but this bag was from Havirland, Havirland. It was from her Etsy shop, and I just loved it reminded me of stained glass, and it was just all rainbowy and fun. And like I said, I ordered it and I have never used it. So it is a brand new project bag, and then the inside is just yellow with little red dots. Anyway, so this is the prize so far. If we get more participation in there, then I will add a second prize. But that is the prize for participating in the gift along, and I will be working on those. I also did not get a lot of feedback, but I'm still thinking about the January for the Selfish Craft Along, making that a I've always wanted to, and having people work on projects or that they've always wanted to, or yarn that they've always wanted to try, or something like that. And it can still be sort of the Selfish Craft Along, craft something for yourself in January. So that's the status of the craft alongs in the group. I'm going to take a sip of tea and then we will move on to spinning. Spinning was kind of an interesting week. Last week I showed you a braid from Southern Cross Fibers. It was a braid of Corriedale that I had been hoarding because I love Corriedale for socks, and I had actually said that I was going to put it up into the shop. And I have since decided not to do that because when I was plying, there were a bunch of breaks in the skein, and it's just not as professional a skein as I would like it to be. It also did not come out as thin as I would like it to be, so I have a feeling it's going to be sport to worsted weight, or like DK worsted weight. So I'm just going to hold on to that and make socks for myself, and I will spin a sock skein up for the shop another time. This braid is called Distant Thunder, and it had browns and tans and then a bunch of different kinds of purples in it, and it is a really beautiful skein. I'm excited to see what kind of socks it makes. Like I said, I do apologize, but it is just not of quality that I would want to put in my shop. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it back, and I'll just wash it and make some socks for myself. But that brings me to what I will spin this week. And this week is a beautiful braid that I have had forever and just haven't spun it because I was waiting for it to be the right thing. And I have learned that with some braids, you wait for them to be the right thing. And with some braids, you just suck it up and you spin it because it's awfully pretty. So this one I'm going to spin because it's awfully pretty, and it's going to go into the shop. This is from Nest Fiber Company, and it is called Foxy. It is superwash merino, so it would be amazing as socks, although I have a feeling, I hope it's going to spin thin, so you could use it for a shawl as well. It is reds and pinks and purples and browns, and it is just a beautiful braid, and her fiber is so soft and so lovely. So I'm going to spin this one up this week and then throw it in the shop. So if it's your colors, keep an eye on it, and it will be in there soon. So I think that is it for today's podcast. Like I said, I have lots of things that I am working on. I'm definitely hoping to get some good time in on this one this week, as well as do the bandana cowl, finish my socks, have my sock needles ready for a Christmas Eve cast on, and then I have a bunch more reviews and things that I am dying to knit in the new year. If you watch my podcast feed, or not my podcast feed, my Instagram feed this week, I did a make 9, and my plan is to cast on at least 3, the top 3 things in that row. It is the socks that I'm going to do for my Christmas cast on, and then it is the night shift shawl that I pulled all that handspun for. I definitely want to cast that on next month. And then I want to make a boxy by Joji Locatelli, and I have some beautiful yarn for that. I will bring that next week and show you. So I have lots and lots of knits planned. I sort of feel like the winter is happy knitting season to me because it's mostly cold outside. So since I don't go outside much, I spend lots of time indoors knitting and spinning. And I do have some exciting spins coming up too. So I think that's it for today. My plans for the rest of the day include knitting and spinning, and then I think I need to address our holiday cards. So that I think is the next project. I need to find some good ink. I have some fountain pen ink that has like sheen to it. It's like a blue with a red sheen, and I really like that one for the holidays. So I think I'm gonna go find that and address my cards, and then put my feet up and enjoy the rest of the day. I hope you are getting to enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to you again next weekend. Until I talk to you again, I will say, as I always do, happy knitting, happy spinning, happy sipping, and I'll see you next time. Bye!